poor blood flow to the penis is silently destroying the intimate lives of millions of senior men, and almost nobody is talking about it. One day you wake up and realize something has changed. Your erections are weaker, they don't last, and sometimes they don't happen at all. You stand there frustrated, ashamed, pretending nothing is wrong, while inside you're terrified that a part of your identity as a man is slipping away. You avoid intimacy because you're afraid of disappointing the woman you love. You convince yourself it's just aging, that it's normal, that nothing can be done. But the truth is far more brutal. Poor penile circulation doesn't just steal pleasure, it steals confidence, pride, and connection. It turns moments that should be filled with love into silence and distance. And here is the twist almost no one knows. The real reason erections disappear after 60 has nothing to do with desire or testosterone. The problem is not your mind. The problem is not her. The problem is not age itself. It is a collapse in nitric oxide production, the molecule that opens the arteries inside the penis and allows blood to rush in. When nitric oxide falls, blood flow collapses and erections fail. But here is the shocking part. This collapse is not permanent. It can be reversed. And there is one specific drink you can take before bed that begins increasing blood flow to the penis in as little as 24 hours. Warmth returns. Strength returns. Hope returns. I am Dr. Mohit Kara, board-certified urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Before we go deeper into the 8 drinks ranked from weakest to strongest for restoring blood flow to the penis, take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another men's health breakthrough designed specifically for seniors. And so I know you're with me, type the number 1 in the comments if improving circulation and restoring firm, reliable erections matters to you. Now, let's break down the truth, starting from the bottom of the list. Number 8. Plain water. Have you ever stood in the bathroom late at night, staring at yourself in the mirror, wondering when things changed? When did your body stop responding the way it used to? When did something as natural and automatic as an erection become unpredictable, unreliable, or completely absent? It is a moment no man ever expects to face, yet nearly every man over 60 eventually does. And in that moment, most men reach for the simplest explanation and the simplest solution. Drink more water. Stay hydrated. Thin the blood. Keep circulation moving. But here is the hard truth almost no one will say out loud. You can drink gallons of water and still change nothing. You can hydrate perfectly and still feel the emptiness and frustration of a body that no longer performs when it matters most. Hydration alone will not save your sexual health. It does not reopen the narrow arteries in the penis. It does not restore the warmth that used to surge through your body. It does not rebuild the strength or fullness that made you feel alive, desired, and confident. Water may keep you alive, but it cannot bring back what aging silently stole from you. Because the real problem is not thick blood. The real problem is that without adequate nitric oxide, the penile arteries cannot open. They cannot expand. They cannot carry the powerful wave of blood required to lock an erection in place and keep it there. So even when your body is perfectly hydrated, the circulation boost is weak and temporary, barely 8% according to research. 8% is not enough to change anything a man can feel. It is not enough to take you from soft to strong. It is not enough to undo years of vascular decline. It is not enough to save intimacy or rebuild confidence. And if you have ever tried to pretend it does, you know exactly what disappointment feels like. You take a deep breath, drink more water, promise yourself tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow comes and nothing changes. You lie awake next to the woman who has loved you for decades, silently praying your body will cooperate, silently fearing the moment you reach for her hand and feel the tension of uncertainty. The room fills with quiet, and the quiet hurts. Many men blame themselves. Many men stay silent. Many men give up. But nothing about this is your fault. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not less of a man. You are simply missing the one ingredient water cannot provide, nitric oxide, the biological switch that opens the arteries inside the penis and allows blood to surge without resistance. That is why plain water ranks last on this list. It helps maintain life, but it does not restore the life you want to feel. It does nothing to bring back the vitality and power you remember. It does not create change you can feel in the bedroom, only maintenance you cannot. And if you are tired of waiting, tired of hoping, tired of disappointment, then you are ready for something stronger. Because the next drink does more than hydrate. It begins to open the door to real change. It begins to move blood again. It begins to restore what aging tried to steal. So let's move forward. The journey gets more powerful from here, and drink number 7 may surprise you more than you expect. Number 7. Green tea. There is a painful moment many men over 60 know too well, yet almost never speak about. It's the moment when you sit across from your partner, wanting to reach for her hand, wanting to feel that spark again, but something inside you hesitates. Not because the love is gone, not because the desire has faded, but because you are afraid. Afraid that your body won't answer the call, afraid of failing again, afraid of seeing disappointment in her eyes or frustration in your own reflection. And in that quiet struggle, you begin searching for hope anywhere you can find it. You read an article, watch a video, hear a friend say that green tea is good for circulation. You think, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the answer I've been waiting for. Something natural, something respected, something safe. So you buy it, you drink it every day, you wait for change. But days pass, then weeks, then months, and nothing meaningful happens. You keep drinking, telling yourself to be patient, telling yourself that healing takes time, telling yourself that the science must be real. Yet when you finally need your body to respond, nothing is different. The struggle remains. The silence between you and the woman beside you grows heavier. You feel the weight of time pressing down. You wonder how many more chances you have left. Green tea is celebrated everywhere. Doctors praise it, articles glorify it, people swear by it, but almost no one admits the truth. When it comes to increasing blood flow to the penis quickly and powerfully, green tea barely makes a dent. Yes, it contains antioxidants that support long-term cardiovascular health. Yes, it can slightly improve blood vessel function after months of consistent use, but improvement that takes months is not a solution for a man who needs change today. Improvement that cannot be felt in real moments is not improvement you can count on. Studies show that green tea improves artery dilation by barely 12%, and that effect is slow, subtle, and easily lost if you miss a few days. And for many men, the caffeine inside it constricts blood vessels instead of opening them, making the problem worse. So you sit there with an empty cup in your hands, wondering why something so promising delivered so little. You wonder if maybe you waited too long, if maybe your body is past the point of repair. You wonder if this is just life now, but it doesn't have to be. The failure of green tea is not the failure of your body. It is the failure of a weak solution to a serious problem. Erections depend on explosive blood flow, not gentle support. They depend on nitric oxide production surging, not creeping. They depend on power, not patience. Green tea belongs on this list, but near the bottom, because while it offers health, it does not offer transformation or urgency. And the journey we are on now is not about small improvements. It is about reclaiming strength, confidence, and connection. It is about restoring the man you still are beneath the surface. And if you think green tea is underwhelming, wait until you hear what comes next. The next drink promises more impact, but it also carries a hidden danger most men never see coming. Let's talk about it. Number 6. Tart Cherry Juice. Imagine this. You finally decide that you're tired of feeling defeated. Tired of waking up every morning pretending everything is fine while inside you feel like a part of your life is slipping away. You make a promise to yourself to fight back, to do something, anything, that might restore the strength and vitality you once took for granted. You walk into a grocery store, searching for hope in the aisles, and a bright, beautiful bottle of Tart Cherry Juice catches your eye. You remember hearing that it's good for circulation. You feel a flicker of excitement. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the key. You buy it, take it home, pour a glass, and the deep red color feels like power returning to your life. You drink it with the quiet belief that change is finally beginning. For days, you stay committed. You drink it every morning or every evening, imagining blood moving freely again, imagining warmth returning, imagining the possibility of standing beside your partner with confidence instead of fear. You wait for the moment when everything will feel different. You wait for the strength, the heat, the fullness, the return of what age has tried to take. You wait and you hope. But as the days roll by, reality begins to whisper something painful. Nothing feels different. Nothing changes in the bedroom. Nothing changes in your reflection. The struggle continues, and disappointment settles in like a quiet storm. Tart cherry juice is powerful in theory. It reduces inflammation in blood vessel walls and can help arteries relax. Studies show circulation can improve by around 18% after weeks of daily use. That sounds promising on paper. But the problem, the part no one warns you about, is that Tart cherry juice is loaded with sugar. 1 cup can contain 30 grams or more. And for older men, especially those living with diabetes or prediabetes, a spike in blood sugar can actually shut down nitric oxide production, the very mechanism needed to achieve a firm, reliable erection. You take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. The inflammation goes down, but the sugar blocks the pathway to the blood flow you desperately need. Instead of restoring strength, it quietly steals it from you. So you stand in your kitchen holding that bottle, and you wonder how something so hopeful could lead to nothing but another round of disappointment. You begin questioning yourself again. You wonder if maybe you are the problem, if maybe real change is impossible now. But the truth is, you never failed. The drink failed you. Tart cherry juice belongs in this ranking, but only here near the bottom because while it offers benefits, it delivers them slowly, weakly, and with a price your body cannot afford. Especially when your goal is to revive the part of your life that means more than physical function. It is about dignity, about closeness, about identity. But do not give up now. This journey is only beginning, and the next drink on this list offers more strength, more impact, and more real change than anything you have tried so far. It carries surprising power and a twist many men never expect. Let's take a closer look. Number 5. Pomegranate Juice. There is a moment that hits a man like a punch to the chest. It's the moment when you look into the eyes of the woman who has stood beside you for decades, and you see the sadness behind her smile. Not because she loves you any less, but because she misses the closeness that once felt effortless, natural, and alive between you. You feel it too, the distance growing slowly like a quiet storm. You lie beside her at night, her hand resting near yours, and you want to reach for her. You want to feel that spark, but something inside you hesitates. Not because your heart isn't full of love, but because you're afraid that your body won't respond, afraid of repeating another night of disappointment. It is a lonely kind of silence, the kind only a man who has struggled with fading erections can truly understand. So you make a decision. You will fight. You will try again. You will not surrender your masculinity to age without a battle. You read articles, watch videos, research everything you can, and you discover something that fills you with hope. Pomegranate juice. You see the words, improves blood flow, protects nitric oxide, reduces arterial plaque, and you feel a surge of optimism. You go to the store, pick up the deep red bottle, and something deep inside you says this is the answer. This is the turning point. It feels symbolic, like strength captured in liquid form. You drink your first glass with conviction, believing that change is finally on its way. Weeks pass. You stay disciplined. You drink it daily, waiting to feel warmth returning, waiting to feel pressure building, waiting for the strength that once made you feel like a man who could give and receive desire without hesitation. Studies show it can improve circulation by 22%. And yes, pomegranate juice fights inflammation and protects blood vessels from damage. But the promise feels distant. Improvements are slow, subtle, and rarely noticeable in the places that matter most. Meanwhile, there is a darker truth that begins to surface. The sugar content is extremely high. 1 cup contains more than 30 grams of sugar, and sugar is the enemy of nitric oxide. It shuts down the biological switch that opens penile arteries and allows blood to rush in with force. For a man over 60, especially one facing metabolic challenges, that sugar can turn hope into a setback. You expect renewal, and instead you feel the same emptiness, the same disappointment, the same quiet ache. You put the glass down, And you wonder if this journey is nothing more than trial, error, and heartache. You wonder how many more attempts you can endure. You wonder if your body has already closed the door to change. But let me tell you something important. You are not done. Your body is not finished. The failure of pomegranate juice is not a reflection of your potential, but a reminder that weak solutions cannot solve serious problems. Erections require power, force, and rapid restoration of blood flow. They demand a surge, not a whisper. And the drink that comes next delivers exactly that. It is the first real turning point on this list, something that many men overlook, but those who try it often feel the difference in hours, not weeks. The real breakthrough begins now. Let's talk about it. Number 4. Pure cocoa drink. There is a moment when reality hits you harder than any diagnosis or medication warning ever could. It is when you realize that intimacy is no longer something you can take for granted. You reach for your partner, hoping tonight will be different, hoping your body will cooperate, hoping the frustration and silence will finally lift. But instead, you're met with the same unresponsive stillness, the same lack of strength, the same sinking feeling in your chest. You turn away, pretending you're tired, pretending it doesn't bother you, pretending that you're fine. But deep down, you feel shaken. Not because intimacy is about performance, but because it is about connection. It is about feeling ali, feeling wanted, feeling whole. Losing that feels like losing a part of yourself. In that search for a lifeline, many men discover something that sounds promising: pure cocoa. You hear that dark chocolate is good for circulation, that cocoa improves blood flow, that athletes use it to enhance oxygen delivery. Your heart stirs a little. Maybe this is the answer you've been praying for: something simple, inexpensive, natural. Something that could bring back the warmth and strength you miss so deeply. You buy it, mix it into hot water, and take your first sip, hoping change is finally coming. And for some men, the experience is real. Cocoa contains flavanols that stimulate nitric oxide production, opening blood vessels and increasing circulation. Research shows that within 2 hours, blood flow can improve by nearly 24%. Some men feel warmth returning to their feet and groin, a tingling sensation they haven't felt in years. It feels like possibility. It feels like hope. It feels like a door cracking open after being shut for too long. But here is the painful catch no one wants to say out loud. Cocoa only works if it is pure. If you sweeten it with sugar or mix it with processed hot chocolate packets, the very ingredient that helps open blood vessels is destroyed. Sugar shuts down nitric oxide production. Sugar tightens arteries. Sugar quietly steals circulation and strength from the very place you are trying to restore. And most men, trying to tolerate the bitterness, add sugar without realizing they are undoing everything they are trying to fix. They wait for improvement, but nothing happens. The disappointment returns. The silence deepens. The hope fades. Pure cocoa belongs here, in the middle of the list, because it is stronger than the drinks before it, but still not the breakthrough most men are searching for. It can help. It can support. It can create change if used correctly, but it will not transform your body the way you need, not on its own, not when your arteries are already fighting an uphill battle against age. If you have ever tasted that bitter drink and waited for miracles that never came, know this: your body is not failing you. You simply need something stronger, something faster, something powerful enough to cut through years of circulatory decline. And that is exactly what comes next. The next drink contains a force most men overlook, yet its impact can be felt shockingly fast. When you hear what it can do inside the body of a man over 60, you may never look at it the same way again. Let's continue. Number 3. Celery juice. There comes a moment when frustration turns into desperation, when a man looks in the mirror and barely recognizes himself, not because his face has changed, but because his confidence has. You remember the man you used to be, the man who never hesitated, who never doubted his body, who never feared intimacy. You remember standing tall, feeling powerful, knowing that when passion called, your body answered without question. But now, you find yourself hesitating before intimacy, bargaining with yourself, hoping tonight will be different. You lie awake wondering how something so natural, something so deeply tied to identity, strength, and connection could slip away so quietly. It feels unfair. It feels humiliating. It feels like a cruel joke that no one prepared you for. And then you hear about celery juice. You're told it is rich in natural nitrates, that it boosts blood flow, that athletes use it to enhance performance, stamina, and oxygen delivery. You read about men feeling warmth return to their legs, hands, and even their pelvis within hours. You see stories of circulation improving dramatically after just one glass. For the first time in a long time, hope doesn't feel foolish. Celery juice feels like a discovery, like a chance to regain control, like something powerful hidden in plain sight, so you decide to try it. The first time you juice those fresh green stalks, the sound of the machine feels like a declaration of war against the years that tried to take your strength away. You pour the glass, look at the pale green liquid, and think, if there is even a chance this could help me, I have to take it. You drink it, wincing at the taste, but committed to the fight. And within days, many men describe feeling something they thought they might never feel again: warmth returning, blood moving, a pulsing energy in places that had gone quiet. Scientific studies show celery juice can increase blood flow by up to 40% in just 3 hours. That kind of surge matters. That kind of surge means life returning to the arteries inside the penis, the very channels that must expand rapidly to create full, reliable erections. But as powerful as celery juice can be, it is not perfect. It requires consistency. It requires fresh celery and daily preparation. It requires a juicer, time, and tolerance for a taste that is salty, grassy, and anything but pleasant. Many men start strong but slowly fall away, and the results fade as quickly as they arrived. Celery juice can open the door, but it cannot carry you across the threshold alone. It is a weapon, yes, but not the strongest one in this fight. It proves that powerful natural solutions exist, that the body can respond, that circulation can improve rapidly, but it also shows that you need something stronger, something more concentrated, more potent, more transformative than celery could ever be on its own. For every man who tasted the potential, who felt a flicker of strength returning, who believed for a moment that restoration was possible, this is not the end. The next drink on this list doesn't just push blood flow higher, it changes everything. It delivers power that can be felt not in days, but in hours. And when you discover what it can do inside the body of a man over 60, everything you thought you knew about aging will change. Let's move forward. Number 2. Arugula Smoothie. There is a moment when a man realizes that time is moving faster than he expected, and suddenly the things he once believed were unshakable begin to feel fragile. You reach for the woman you love, and instead of certainty, you feel fear. Fear that your body won't rise to the moment. Fear that the strength you once carried with pride has slipped through your fingers. Fear that the part of your identity tied to passion, closeness, and confidence is fading into memory. You lie there wondering how something as natural as an erection could become a stranger. You wonder whether you will ever feel truly alive in that way again. It is a quiet grief, the kind men rarely talk about, but it cuts deep. And then, in that search for answers, you come across something unexpected. Arugula, a leafy green that most people throw into salads without a second thought. You would never imagine that something so simple could hold the kind of power capable of altering a man's future. Yet scientists have found that arugula contains the highest natural concentration of nitrates of any vegetable on the planet, higher than beets, higher than celery, higher than anything else placed in front of a man desperate to restore what aging tried to take. 2 cups of arugula flooding the bloodstream with nitric oxide precursors, opening arteries that have been closing slowly, silently, for years. Studies show blood flow can increase by 42% in as little as 2 weeks when consumed consistently. And men report something extraordinary: the return of heat, fullness, sensitivity, and even spontaneous morning erections they thought were gone forever. For the first time in years, you feel possibility. You blend arugula with blueberries or banana, watching the deep green color swirl into life, tasting the sharp, peppery edge mixed with sweetness. It feels like hope in physical form. You drink it because you are not ready to surrender, because you refuse to accept that intimacy, passion, and performance are chapters already written, and slowly, something inside you wakes up. The numbness begins to fade, the heaviness lifts. You feel blood moving again in places that had fallen silent. It is not magic. It is biology. It is the restoration of a mechanism your body depended on your entire life. But as powerful as arugula is, it carries a challenge: consistency. Not every man wants to blend vegetables every day. Not every man can commit to washing greens, storing produce, preparing smoothies, and facing the taste when discipline fades. For many men, arugula proves that dramatic change is possible, but maintaining it becomes the obstacle. It shows what the body is capable of, but it also reveals that the journey demands more than effort alone. It demands a weapon stronger than daily preparation. And that leads us to the number one drink on this list. A drink so potent that results can begin not in weeks, not in days, but in hours. A drink that has transformed the lives of countless men, men who now stand taller, speak louder, and walk back into intimacy with pride. What comes next is the breakthrough every man over 60 needs to hear. Let's talk about it. Number 1. Beetroot Juice. There is a moment in a man's life when he finally admits something to himself that he has been denying for too long. A moment when the silence in the bedroom is louder than words, when the distance between two people who love each other feels wider than miles, and when the ache of disappointment becomes heavier than the fear of speaking the truth. You look at the woman who has stood beside you for decades, the woman who has loved you through every chapter of your life, and you realize that what hurts most is not the physical struggle itself, but the feeling of letting her down. You miss the closeness. You miss the spark. You miss the version of yourself who could make her feel desired, safe, and cherished. You wonder where that man went. You wonder if he is gone forever. You lie awake asking questions you never thought you'd ask. Am I broken? Is this the end? Is this how the story finishes? And then you discover something that stops you in your tracks. A drink so powerful, so fast-acting, so supported by real science that it sounds almost unbelievable. Beetroot juice. Not a drug. Not a gimmick. Not a miracle cure sold in late-night commercials. A simple, natural juice that contains the highest concentration of dietary nitrates available in a drinkable form. Nitrates that convert into nitric oxide, the very molecule that opens the arteries inside the penis and allows blood to surge in with force and volume. The molecule that aging strips away, leaving the body struggling to create even a fraction of what once came naturally. The molecule that determines whether an erection is strong, full, and lasting, or weak, fleeting, and filled with frustration. Clinical research shows that just one 8-ounce glass of beetroot juice can increase blood flow by 30 to 50% within 90 minutes. Not in weeks, not in months, in hours. Men who thought their bodies were beyond repair report feeling warmth returning to their legs, their pelvis, and the most intimate part of themselves within days. Studies show a 45% improvement in circulation after 15 days of daily use, meaning that men who believed the best years of their intimate lives were already behind them suddenly find themselves waking up with morning erections they haven't felt in years. They describe strength returning, pressure returning, hope returning. Tears have been shed over that first morning when something long lost returned without warning. You begin to drink it at night, knowing that the body repairs blood vessels while you sleep. You wait, wondering if anything will change. And then, it happens. A pulse, a warmth, a fullness, a reminder that the man you thought you lost is still inside you, alive and waiting for the chance to rise again. And in that moment, everything shifts. You don't just feel physical strength returning, you feel purpose, confidence, a spark that no amount of aging could ever truly erase. You realize that intimacy is not gone. It was only waiting for blood flow to come back home. This drink sits at the top of the list not because it sounds dramatic, but because it works. Because it changes lives. Because it gives men their power back when they believed it was gone forever. And now that you understand what is possible, we are ready to talk about something even more important. How to put this into action, how to rebuild circulation step by step, and how to turn the next 30 days into a transformation you can feel in every part of your life. Let's move into the final message. You need to hear this. Conclusion. If you are still here with me, it means something inside you is refusing to give up. It means you are not ready to surrender your strength, your identity, or your intimate connection to the quiet erosion of time. It means you still believe that life has more to offer than silence, distance, and disappointment. And I want you to hear me clearly now. As a doctor who has spent more than 30 years sitting across from men just like you, men who walked into my office carrying fear, shame, and the weight of unspoken pain, you are not broken. You are not finished. You are not beyond repair. What you are facing is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one you have the power to rewrite starting today. Erectile decline is not a punishment, and it is not a reflection of your worth as a man. It is a vascular problem, nothing more, nothing less. It is a matter of blood flow, a matter of nitric oxide, a matter of circulation. And circulation can be restored. Blood vessels can heal. Arteries can reopen. Warmth can return. Desire can take shape again. Intimacy can be rebuilt. I have watched men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s come back stronger than they ever imagined. Not because they were lucky, not because they were special, but because they finally understood the real problem and finally gave their body what it needed to fix it. You now know the truth. You have seen the path laid out step by step. You have learned what works and what doesn't. You have seen how weak solutions lead to disappointment and how powerful solutions lead to transformation. You have learned that age is not the enemy. Inaction is. You have everything required to reclaim your confidence, your vitality, and your connection with the woman who has stood beside you through every season of life. All that remains is the decision. So here is my challenge to you, not as a doctor speaking clinically, but as a man who understands what this loss feels like, who has held the hands of men fighting back tears, who has witnessed the moment their hope came back to life. Start tonight. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for courage. Do not wait for a sign. Take action now. Drink 1 cup of pure beetroot juice before bed. Do it for 3 days. See what begins to change. Feel the warmth returning. Feel the blood moving. Feel the spark rebuilding itself cell by cell. And when that first moment arrives, when your body responds, when strength replaces uncertainty, when connection replaces silence, you will know that it was never over. You will know the man you thought you lost was waiting for you to fight for him. 30 days from now, you could be standing taller, feeling younger, walking into intimacy with confidence instead of fear. 30 days from now, you could look into your partner's eyes and see not sadness or distance, but gratitude and joy. And it all begins with a choice you make tonight. Your body wants to heal. Your heart wants to reconnect. Your future wants to feel alive again. The only question now is whether you will take the first step. It's time. Take back your blood flow. Take back your strength. Take back your life.